and do a late night stream tonight just to test it out, just to mix it a little bit, to test the timings and see where it leads. So I thought I'd come on, and I'd no idea. There's nothing planned. It's almost live. That's what I figured that we would do, and we will see who turns up. As ever on these streams, they can get interesting. They can get a little bit spicy. So let's talk about until anybody shows up. Let's talk about challenges for empaths. So this is a theme of the channel, and this is a really important aspect that empaths now, people that are highly sensitive, people that are people pleasers for most of their life, good people, the rock and the family, the person that everybody leans on in a time of times of strife. So because we have got a planetary vibrational rise at the moment, what's happening is people are being traumatized into waking up. That's what's happening, my Jedi friends, being traumatized into waking up. And that can be brutal. It can be brutal. It can be really tough. It can be what is going on, like reality shifting. So let's go straight to the heart of it. If you're being really challenged at the moment, the odds are you had some sort of advanced spiritual contract or higher purpose. Or I could just be a lunatic talking rubbish, of course. But that is my slant on it all. And certain people are being inspired to wake up. And you're being inspired to wake up by absolutely nuclear bombing your life right now. So it can be really challenging things. It can be your end. Lots of things that will be ending, will be crashing down of reality. That's a frequent flyer on this journey. That relationships can end, jobs can end, living arrangements can end, friendships can end. And not only that, I mean, when I say friendships can end, obviously a true friendship can never really end. But for people that are highly sensitive to energy, for empaths, what you tend to find is that you've got all of these friends. Because you're a good person, you've got a massive friend network. And I would definitely subscribe to that in my younger years. I'm like, I've got loads of friends, loads of friends. Hey, I've got M and K Gaming. Well, K said hi. Well, thank you, my Jedi friend. Thank you for being the first one on the stream to say hello. And hello to you. Hi, Kay. Kay, and hi to you, my Jedi friend. Hello, and thank you for getting stuck in. Thank you for being the first one to react to this. I've got a noob. So Emin Gaming is a noob. So fair play to you. I've got Red Speed in the house who said hi. Thanks very much. And I've got Rat who says hey. Well, hey to all of you, my Jedi friends. You have come to the Almost live stream. Now, if you're new to this, let me just explain how it works here. I could talk, I had some sort of little plan of what I might be talking about, but I usually go with the flow of whatever comments come in, and they can be pretty random, these lives. So I don't know. I'm not even going to tell you what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to ask you to get involved, my Jedi friends, to just get in the chat and bring up anything you want. What I was talking about is how some people are being really challenged at the moment because it's time to wake up. Because there's a bigger purpose in your life, my Jedi friends. You're being awakened by the universe, which means that if you're facing numerous different challenges at the moment, then that is a sign. That is a sign that there's a bigger picture in your life, and it's time to wake up. Time to wake up. Red Speed says, how old are you? Well, there's a question. There's a question, my Jedi friends. Well, I will just tell you that I am over 50. How's that? Although it really depends. How many lifetimes have I been here before? Old soul and all that. Could have been many lifetimes. Could have been hundreds of thousands of years. Have I been part of the universe since the Big Bang? Well, we don't really know, do we? We don't really know. How old are you, Red Speed? How old are you, my Jedi friends? You're going to throw it out there, then you've got to take it in return, haven't you? So let me adjust my content to your age dynamic so that I know what I'm dealing with. 9. Yeah, right. Okay. Well, I know you're not 9 because I actually put on this thread that there was nobody, that it wasn't for kids. It wasn't for kids. This is an adult chat, Red Speed. So 9 mentally, maybe 9 mentally trapped in a 60-year-old body. Perhaps that is you, my Jedi friend, that you relate to that. I'm O, says Red Speed. Well, of all the things you could have asked me, Red Speed, that is what you want to come at me with. How old am I? Really? Really? Why don't you watch for a bit and then have a calculated guess? And in fact, when it comes to age, we are really on the Jedi train here. So I could be hundreds of thousands of years old for all you know and all I know. Many lifetimes ago, I started existence on different planets. I am a global traveler. There you go. I'm a shapeshifter coming from different dimensions. That's how old I am. Rat has jumped in the house. Can you grow a garden on Roblox? Well, who knows? Maybe I can, Rat. I'm sure with the right instructions, I could probably grow a garden on Roblox. Just a bit of nurture. Of course, we'd need to have a weather-friendly environment if we're going to go down that route, wouldn't we? So, Wazif Ali is in the house. Baldy over there. What's it like to have no hair? Is it hot or is it cold? I don't know because I'm not bald. Yeah, right. Wazif. Well, some people need hair to assume their sense of identity because it's who they are. You know, when you haven't really found out who you are and what you're all about, hair matters. It's important to some people, but it ain't to me, my Jedi friends. I do not need hair. I do not need it because, let's face it, during lockdown, that was a pain, wasn't it? Having hair, not being able to get barbers, all that stuff, having your hair cut, getting your gel in, being a little bit of a tart. So, Wazif, what are you dealing with? An afro? How much do you spend on the average haircut? There you go, my Jedi friend. Let's answer these questions. So you're not bald. Well done. What do you want? A medal? Well done. There you go. You've got hair. And I'm just baldy over there. Well, in actual fact, on not my last stream, the stream before that, I got told that I was related to Captain Picard and Arnie Slot. So I could be Arnie Slot. There you go. I was told. So I was told. For all you football fans out there, I've got a obviously a very commonly shaped head in the house. I've got Plant Lady in the house now. One of my Jedi regulars. Well, Plant Lady, thank you. The first name that I actually recognise on this live stream. I've got all these newbies come in because of the new time that I've decided to stream. Like, you don't agree with the importance of hair as an antennae then? Well, Plant Lady, I did watch Withnail and I back in the day, and they are. I mean, my hair was my connection to the cosmos. But I've got chest hair, Plant Lady. It's not that I'm completely bald. I have hair in other places. So there you go. I have got Tom Mack in. Arnie Slot is the man. Well, he is. Well, if you are like me and you're a Liverpool fan, then kudos to you, Tom Mack. You know it's looking frightening. And if we get Isak in the door, then it's game over for the rest of the Premiership. In fact, I think it's pretty much game over for the rest of the Premiership now. Can't see anybody catching Liverpool this season. They're just looking frightening. Let's face it, Arnie Slot comes in. He gets no sign. He didn't sign anyone and won the league, and now he can sign whoever he wants. And it seems to he's got an unlimited budget. It's looking good. Red Speed says, I subscribed. Well, thank you, Red Speed. I appreciate that, my Jedi friend. You will get these random updates. When I do my lives, we can go in any direction. So it's a bit of fun. So thank you for that. I encourage you all to subscribe. Rat has subbed. Thank you. Well, thank you, my Jedi friends. I appreciate you subscribing. It's all good for me and the channel. Tom Mack, shame over Diaz. Well, it was. I've done watched a few videos on that, Tom. And let's face it, he had 2 years left on his contract. He wasn't signing anymore. He's at his peak at the moment. If we'd kept him for another year, a 1-year contract, he may just have held us to ransom, done what Trent did, and we'd have got nothing for him. So this way we get a big chunk of the fee towards someone like Isaac. So yes, I mean, Diaz was playing well, but if he didn't want to stay and he didn't want to extend his contract, then adios, amigos. Bring in the new Alexander. Here we come. Red Speed, I have to go. Sorry. No worries, Red Speed. Well, we're just a drop in here. You stay as long as you like. Stay for as long or as little as you like, my Jedi friend. If you're subbed now, there'll be plenty more of these in the future. So it's all good. So Tom says Trent's a rat. Well, in fairness, Tom, can you blame him? Can you blame him? I bet he's going to look back from Real Madrid this season and wish he was in a true championship side. I fancy Liverpool to beat Real. I think that they're a better team at the moment. Let's face it, the team to beat at the moment are Paris Saint-Germain, and only Chelsea seem to know how to do that right now. That was a freak result, wasn't it? Absolute freak result. But yes, Paris Saint-Germain, they've just got a younger, fitter, faster, stronger team. And now Liverpool look like they're going head to head for that. We've got the youth in the team. We've got extreme skill. Got some frightening signings. I've got Wirtz in my dream team, in my fantasy football team. So, yeah, that's exciting. Him and Salah. I didn't have a lot of money left. I've got Isak as well. Isak, Wirtz, and Mo Salah are in my fantasy team. So if Isak comes on board, that will be a steal. That will be a steal. Is right, lad. Yes, absolutely, Tom. You know the drill. So, I mean, fair play to Jurgen Klopp. I mean, I was feeling that Trent was a bit of a traitor, but he brought up a good point. He made some fair comments, the lad, that Trent's done a lot for the club. Let's face it, he's been phenomenal. He's taking his payday, and in his position, you'd probably do the same, wouldn't you? He's at the pinnacle of his power. This is going to be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for him. And, you know, it's all downhill from here, isn't it? Let's face it, anyone that leaves Liverpool and goes to Real Madrid, things usually go downhill, don't they? Let's just ask Michael Owen, probably more so Coutinho. Let's ask Coutinho. Sorry, folks, I've got a cat looking to get in the room, so I better let him in. I've got a cat. It's coming in. It's a black cat in the house. I had shut them out, but, you know, he wants to get involved. I've got a cat in the house. So there you go. Oh, look, Red Speed is back. Well, thank you, Red Speed. That was a very short interlude. Welcome back. Good to have you back, my Jedi friend. So, yeah, we're just talking football. So for anyone that's not into UK-based football, then it's probably quite a boring. It's probably going to be quite a boring stream while we're on this topic, isn't it? But feel free to change it, my Jedi friends. I'm happy to go with the flow of wherever this conversation goes, as it often does. So I started off with one track. Now we're on another track. And what I've learned about these lives is that, or almost lives, all these almost lives, there's no point planning them because they go in a very unpredictable direction. So Thomas said, seen Fowler in town the other day, put pure weight on. But let's face it, Fowler is a legend, isn't he? He's always going to be a legend. And his little celebration of sniffing the line, well, that's going to go down in history. And he's one of the most popular characters and the most funny. I mean, he's brilliant. I was actually watching an interview with him. I don't think Fowler really got the credit he deserved for the skill that he had. Because unfortunately, Owen got all the headlines, scoring the goal for England and because of his pace. But in just about every other department, Fowler was superior. Superior player and a superior sense of humour. Superior pundit as well, I would argue. So there you go. So Red Speed, did you used to have hair? Well, once upon a time, Red Speed. But let's face it, when I was born and I was a baby, I had no hair. And apparently I was well cute. I was surrounded by women with no hair. So, you know, and once I cut my hair off, it was much the same because I did that in my mid-20s when it started to thin out a little bit. I never looked back. It was actually very handy for things like traveling, for backpacking, um, and for lockdown. It was well handy for lockdown, I'll tell you that, having no hair. Shave it in the shower, my Jedi friends. Job done. Saves a trip to the barber and a few quid. So I dare say I'm quite well in pocket through the saved things on hair gel, barber fees, shampoo, all of the above. I have a very low maintenance head these days, my Jedi friends. So there you go. So Tom says the Tocky Terrier. Yeah. Well, I saw Stevie G. I was out in Liverpool one night. I saw Stevie G. He was absolutely battered. He couldn't even walk straight. Fair play to him. That's what I say, folks. Fair play to him. And part of me was tempted to go and say, Stevie, give us a picture. And I thought, no, I won't do that to him. I'll leave that man alone. He looks like a man on a mission. He needs to get home. He needs to get home. I will tell you one thing though. I did a live event with Emil Heskey, and what an absolute diamond he is. What an absolute diamond Emil Heskey is. He's a top bloke, absolutely top bloke. We did a night of Q&A with him, and somewhere on this channel I recorded a interview I did with Emil, and he just really is just a really, really lovely guy. And I told told my nephew I was going to be doing a live event with Emil Heskey, and he sent me this video, and I was in tears. Some influencer, some big influencer, I've forgotten his name off the top of my head, but he did this piss-taking video about Heskey and how he misses, and it was one of the funniest videos. I was in tears. I sent it to all my mates. One of them was at work and she spat her coffee out. I'll have to look it up and see if I can find it. It was it's some big name influencer that promotes these energy drinks, but yeah, people will probably tell me, there's probably all of you on there thinking, you don't know what his name is. Yeah, it might come to me at some stage during the stream. It was a funny video. Look up Emil Heskey and he misses. So let's have a look. Bush Camp Dad. Yeah, have you met Bush Camp Dead? Bush Camp Dead or Bush Camp Dad? No, I haven't. I have not met Bush Camp Dad, but I will tell you that back in the day, my Jedi friends, I did go and work in American summer camps. So I've been all over the States. I've probably seen more of the States than most people that live in the States. I've done a road trip. I did coast to coast and back again. I've done 6 summers of working in summer camps in the US, and I've worked with kids from the age of 4 to 19, 4 to 19, right the way through the spectrum. And the last time I went, which was back in 2000, one of the guys that I'd been working with was moving from New Jersey to Vail. So I managed to convince him to take a van with me and drive across the country and go to LA. So we went from New Jersey to LA, and then we went up the coast to Seattle, and then across the top, right the way across the top, right the way back to Buffalo, and then back down to New York. And it was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal trip. The States is a great place for a road trip. It's the best road trip I've ever done. And one of the things that we did when we went on this road trip, I decided that we were only going to stop in places with populations of less than 5,000 people, so that we'd really get to know the locals. And it's definitely the best trip ever. Every single place we stopped with a population of less than 5,000 people, we went into the bar at night, and they ended up calling all their mates and having a lock-in. It was great. We made friends all the way through the States, buying us drinks, calling their friends, you've got to come and meet these guys. They were telling them. It was great fun. Yeah. So yes, Tom, Emil he's gone massively up in my estimations, and obviously having spent an evening with him and worked with him, and watched him at the Q&A that we did, just a really, really top bloke. I felt guilty for taking the piss out of him before, with all this video that had been sent to me. My friends were laughing their heads off, so was I, and obviously I thought I was going to struggle to keep a straight face because they were trolling me with all these comedy videos. So yeah, it was quite funny. I'll have to dig it out. It might even come to me as to who it was. It was some influencer that played in a charity game as well. Played at Wembley in the charity games. I will see how it goes. So Red Speed says, you make me laugh. Well, thank you, Red Speed. Well, I am here to see the lighter side of life. That is part of the journey, you know, because my channel talks about a lot of serious stuff. So I'll just get it off the bat. I actually talk about quite some heavy duty things. So it's nice to be a little bit lighter occasionally with the content that I teach, teaching things like energy and dealing with lunatics, dealing with narcissists and stuff that traumatizes you. I'll tell you what traumatizes you is watching football, following football, being a Liverpool fan for my whole life. So it's actually great last season to see us win. And it was even better, you know, to break the 30-year hiatus of not winning the Premiership. That was traumatizing, and we needed to keep a sense of humour during that period of my life. So there you go, Red Speed. Develop and evolve a healthy sense of humour, because that will get you out of all sorts of situations. That is like a life skill that they cannot teach you at school. They will not teach you at school. In fact, at school, I got kicked out of a lot of the classes for taking the piss out of the teachers and sitting at the back, controlling them and making flippant comments. And they got really upset with me. Oh, you think you're funny, do you? I got that thrown at me quite a lot. And of course, you're not really allowed to say yes. But I did think I was funny, and so did the rest of the class. So it wasn't just that I thought I was funny, like everyone else in the class did. In fact, if I hadn't got such reactions from all the other kids laughing, I probably wouldn't have got as harsh treatment, because I was able to get the undivided attention of the entire room pretty much on cue through my little trolly comments. There you go. So Tom says, Mad MD on here on match days now. Yeah. Pure walls. Pure walls. I don't know what that is, Tom, but I'll take your word for it. Yeah, absolutely. So it's going to be nuts. It is going to be nuts. This season's going to be good fun, isn't it? So, if you which Liverpool players, if you've got fantasy football team, who've you got in the team? So for me, as I say, I've got Wirtz and Salah in. You're only allowed 3 players, and I've added Isak, a cheeky little addition there. So I'm hoping that he's coming over. It looks fairly promising, but I can understand why Newcastle fans are really upset about that one. Really upset about that one, my Jedi friends, because their best players coming to the pool, and he doesn't want to play with them anymore. And he up until recently wasn't even training with Newcastle or going to the games. I think he was training in Italy somewhere. So yeah, it's not looking good. It's not looking good for Newcastle fans that are hoping that Isak is going to stay for another season. He probably isn't. There you go. Seen the price now, I don't go. Well, same here, Tom, quite honestly. I mean, I'm more a follower than a fan. I go to about 1 game every 3 years or something like that, maybe. But yeah, I wouldn't be one. It's way too expensive and too traumatic to do all the travel and stuff like that. So yes, I just follow it because I like to play Fantasy League and troll my mates now that we're winning. I get a lot of people say, oh yeah, there's another Southerner. You can tell by your accent why you're a Liverpool fan. Yeah. But here's what they won't say is that for the 30-year hiatus where we couldn't win the Premiership for love nor money, that I stuck with them with my Southern accent living in the South. So no one can accuse me of being a glory hunter for all that year. The best years of my life, they were, and we won nothing. Well, it's not quite true. We did win the odd Mickey Mouse Cup in Europe and at home, but we didn't really do a lot in that 30 years. And let's face it, if you're not winning the Premiership, you can't really be accused of being a great team regardless how many cups you win, could you? So there you go. So red speed. Have you ever had a teacher that's always hated you? I have, red speed. I will say for the record now, because of my advancing years, that I look back and it was thoroughly deserved. We had one teacher, a chap called Mr. Glass, and it's clear now that he had very bad psychiatric issues. He used to lock himself in this tiny room. He went down to the staff room. He used to lock himself in this tiny room, and he was massively eccentric. And I drove him nuts. I absolutely drove him nuts. And I look back now, and I will admit that I have my regrets. I think, kids can be cruel to teachers. It's a tough job. And it was even tougher back in the day. Because especially in the 80s, when I did most of my schooling, they were tough times for teachers. Tough times. And especially with the group of guys I went to school with. I mean, I was one of the lesser evils of some of the people that were there. We had a lot of. I look back now and I see that there was a lot of autism in our year, but that was back at a time when no one even knew what autism was. It was like some people are lunatics, some people are eccentric. We put our own labels to all of these mad behaviours, and the teachers just had to deal with it. So, but in fairness to the teachers, they could retaliate. So, this makes me sound ancient now. Yeah. So we used to have the ruler. We could get beaten in front of the classes. If I once got slapped with a slipper, slapped with a plimsoll. I had to bend over the desk in front of the whole class, and he fucking smashed my ass with a plimsoll or a trainer. And he did that because I was farting, and it probably wasn't the farting; it was that I couldn't stop laughing. And of course, it backfired on him, literally, because he gave me a whack and I let one rip. So the whole thing backfired on him quite badly. He was there teaching me a lesson, and the whole room was just laughing out loud. And it wasn't like I was doing it deliberately. I just had bad guts, and they were so bad, and the reactions from everybody else. Yeah, I totally disrupted the class that day. So yeah, it was different times, folks. Different times. There you go. So let's have a look. What have we got here? So. Bread and butter, the league. Yes, absolutely, Tom. And it's that endless debate, isn't it? Would you rather win the Champions League or the league title? Well, for a team like Man City, for years that they've won the league consecutively, but they couldn't win the Champions League, then obviously you want to target the Champions League. But for a Liverpool fan, like when we first won the Champions League and we hadn't won the actual league for so many years. In fact, they had to redo the rules. The year that Liverpool won the Champions League, they didn't even qualify for it. They had to change the rules so that we can get in it the next year. Now, that's a bit of a backhander, isn't it? You've won the Champions League, which is the premier competition for the great clubs in Europe. And we wouldn't even have qualified for the competition for the season that we won it. So madness, my Jedi friends, it's madness. And it's a bit of a bittersweet victory winning in those circumstances. Everyone's saying yes, but consistently, you're not really that good team. You're just lucky cup run. And yeah, I mean, to win the Champions League, let's face it. I mean, it's yes, there's a bit of luck involved, but you still got to be good on the day. But you can't really argue when you've played a Premier League campaign that doesn't even qualify you for Europe in the same season that you win the Champions League. So as a Liverpool fan, like we really just wanted to win the league. It was more important than the champ. Once we'd won the Champions League, then it was more important to win the league. So there you go. There you go, my Jedi friends. There's a bit of random rambling. I didn't expect to be talking so much about football at the moment, but here we are. It's the crowds that showed up. And fair play to you, Tom, getting another Liverpool fan on the stream. Always a winner. Always a winner, my Jedi friends. Well, this has been an interesting one. Thank you all for showing up, and thank you for the new subscribers that I've had. That's good of you. That's good of you guys to join me. Red Speed says, I'm playing Fortnite. Well, fair play to you, Red Speed. Do you stream? Do you do Twitches? Do you make a living from it on YouTube? Because there's a lot of kids now playing games that they love and making a lot of money by doing that. That's a great occupation in this day and age. So I think it's Twitch is the platform that they're doing it on. And I've met a few young kids that have absolutely made it. They've made it in life. They've got like massive followings and all they do is play games. So fair play to you. So let me have, John says, tell me how much wealth you have. Well, how do you define wealth, John? You know, what would I say? My wealth is my network. My wealth is my friends. My wealth is my health. There you go. And I've also got a little crypto channel as well. So there you go. So you tell me how much cash you've got, John, and then I might consider sharing. Well, let's just put it this way, John. I'm broke. Well, you should go on my little crypto channel then. It might help you because crypto's a leveler, I believe. I've got a channel called the Crypto Lunatic. So there you go. There's another little channel that you might want to look into if you really are broke and you want a game-changing technology, then that is something that you might want to look into. Because I think it's going to level the playing field. I tell you for almost certain, John, that within the next 10 years that Bitcoin will probably go to about $1 million. And I could be wrong. Of course I could, because I'm the crypto lunatic, but crypto's going to be a leveler. And things like Solana, that's looking interesting. And there's some lower cap degen coins, a meme coin revolution is happening as well. So I've moved my Bitcoin position out of Bitcoin and into altcoins at the moment, John. So I share what I'm into on my crypto channel, but I will tell you that right now my biggest positions are Solana, and I've got one called Jasmine as well, which has already trebled my position since I got into it. So there you have it. It's the Crypto Lunatic. If you look up the Crypto Lunatic, you'll find me. It's a little channel. It's got just under 900 subscribers. But what I found in crypto, there's too much geek language and a lot of people don't simplify it. So I just try and keep it simple for people. That's what I do. I just simplify crypto to the best of my ability and inject a little bit of humor in there because I'm coming from the Lunar Cafe. I'm reporting from the moon is where I am. So Red Speed says, I'm going to stream Fortnite once I have enough subscribers. Well, it's chicken and egg there, Red Speed. You know, even with this, I'm live streaming now. I didn't know if anyone was going to turn up at all. And yet here you all are. You've got to start somewhere. And this is like live verticals as well. So I've done streams before on my desktop. This is just where I turn the phone on and do a bit of streaming. And I never know who's going to turn up or what's going to happen or how it's going to rock. So, and what I love about this is, you know, I'm very comfortable with the sort of go with the flow format. I mean, I might be talking about energy. I might be talking about crypto, as we found out today. I might be talking about Liverpool. I might be talking about past lives and reincarnation. So, you know, I'm fairly flexible in the topics I could talk about. Or I could get compared to Arnie Slot or Jean-Luc Picard, which I have had many people come out and tell me that I look a little bit like them. I'll take it, folks, because they're both legends. I mean, let's face it, one has won the championship within his first season or the premiership in his first season. And the other one, well, he's been busy traversing universes and captaining starships. So cool dudes, both of them cool dudes, my Jedi friends. So I never know where we're going to go with these streams. It's very fluid, the way that we flow on these streams. So speaking of which, my Jedi friends, I think this seems like a good segue. I will thank you all for jumping on. Thanks for the new subscribers that I've got. There'll be plenty more of these random streams. Red Speed, get your Twitch channel started. Get streaming. Get on there, my friend. Start earning a living through doing what you love, because that is the opportunity that YouTube gives you now. mean, it doesn't really like me because I swear too much, so it's sort of blacklisted me a little bit at the moment. So I'm trying to rein myself in on these live streams and not be as fruity with my language, because I'm on the YouTube naughty step right now. But the fact that you've all turned up and found me gives me great hope that maybe there's a way out of this. Maybe there's a way for me to get off the naughty step and a few more people to find me. So there you go. Let's have a look. So Red Speed says you need 50 subscribers to stream now. Well, I'll tell you what, Red Speed, put your channel link in the comments. Not the comments you're on now, because they don't show up on the actual video, but when this gets printed, and I shall subscribe to your channel, my Jedi friend, and start the ball rolling. So there you go. We'll get you out there. And what I would also say is go on other channels of people that stream it and build some partnerships as well. Just do what you're doing. What you're doing right now is have conversations with people that are already streaming and say, look, I'd love to interview you. I'd like to interview people that do live streams just to ask, how did you get into it? How did you build up your channel? What you can do then is make partnerships in the place. Just build relationships. You only need one relationship or one interview with one streamer, and you could go from 0 to 50 in a single day. True story. This channel's probably not as relevant because I wouldn't have thought there's as many gamers on there, but what I would definitely recommend is to find people that are slightly further down the road than you and just get involved in their channel. Leave comments, leave messages for them. Ask them if you can interview them. Most people will agree to an interview because it's all about them. They get to talk about their favorite subject. It's all about them. That's what you can do. So there's lots of ways to get started in it, Red Speed. And I think for this generation, with AI taking all the jobs, the one thing that AI won't do is stream games. That's probably, well, maybe they will. But I think a bit of human interaction works best on that particular thing. So there you go. You can type it now, Red Speed, but when this video gets published, it won't go up. If you can type it now, and I'll read it out for people to actually find. But what I'd say is this takes a little bit of time to process. So maybe tomorrow, come on board when this is live, or this is actually on YouTube, and you can write down in the comments what your address is. You can write it now and I'll read it out if you like. But yeah, that's actually a good bit of advice to anyone that's watching this, that's thinking, oh, could I do that? You've got to get started somewhere, my Jedi friends. And that is the thing with live streaming, with having a channel, with however way you do it. So, you know, if it works for you, just get started. Just get started. That is the main thing. So there you go. So on that bombshell, my Jedi friends, I shall love you and leave you. Unless anybody's got any comments, I shall probably tie it off in about a minute. But I just want to thank everybody for jumping on, for getting involved in my almost live stream. So it's a bit late here. We're coming up to midnight now, so I didn't know how I was going to hold up on the stream. I just thought I'd try it at a different time because I've never streamed anything at this time of night before, or this time of the day. So it would potentially open me up to a completely new audience. And here you are, loads of people on. I mean, Plant Lady seems to come on every stream I do. She's an absolute legend. But apart from that, it's just full of new people that I haven't heard from before. So, and that's what it's all about. That's how you meet new people. You get on the stream and you go for it. So thank you all for going for it. Thanks for sharing your comments. Thanks for getting involved in an almost live stream. Actually tickled me to think who would actually sign up to this. And it's exactly the sort of thing I would get on and think that sounds interesting. Who's the lunatic on the end of that? And here I am. So on that note, my friends, I'm going to sign off. I'm going to love you and leave you. Thanks very much for getting involved, and by all means add messages to this video if you want to connect with each other, especially you, Red Speed. Get your channel started, get it started. Just contact a few people, start messaging people that are doing stuff like that. You know, you can really move things forward by partnerships and getting to know people. Plant Lady, I thought I should go stealth as it seemed a bit stalky. Just coincidence, I swear. Well, at this time of night over here, Plant Lady, I knew it was going to be interesting because you're going to get all sorts of characters out, but I'm all up for that. I'm all up for that. Let's have a bit of a more diverse audience and take it down a route that we don't normally go down. So there you go. Well, thank you for sticking to the end, and thank you for being ever present on my live streams. You're definitely my #1 subscriber at the moment as far as these live streams are concerned. You seem to turn up at all hours, so credit where credit's due, and thank you very much. Thank you very much, my Jedi friends, and that's it from me. That is over and out. Enjoy your evening, your day, your morning, wherever the hell you are in the world, and thanks for joining in.